When I was doing this playlist, all I did was like essentially when I was first going through, after I had chosen my character J.D. Salinger's Holden Caulfield from Catcher in the Rye, I really wrote down a lot of things that came to mind when I thought of him. Just like certain words like angsty, adolescent, misunderstood. Very like typical, stereotypical teenager things like that. And I just kind of like I went through my library on Spotify, and songs that I'm pretty familiar with, and I really just like thought about just songs that would apply for words like that, and just like, and as I went through the list of like just different themes of Holden Caulfield, I thought of like instances in which he showed like something that deviated from his normal persona or whatever you want to call it, and that led to like a lot of more like dynamic songs and so I don't just have like one type of song. Like I have songs by Bob Dylan and America and Johnny Cash and stuff like that, and I even have like Blink-182, which is one of the more recent artists of those songs. And then next, what I did was the teacher really wanted us to focus on getting away from plot summary and like focusing on sonics and how the songs themselves relate to our characters through the sonics. And so I went back and then I listened to the songs themselves, and I made note of like the instrumentation that I noticed, like whether or not I noticed guitar or harmonica, and how the guitar and harmonica and drums and stuff were being played, like their tempo, and like what different notes were being played. Were the notes repetitive, or was it more prolonged and just like a lot of different notes? And I really just tried to imagine how the songs, like the sonics themselves, like what they reminded me of in my own experiences, and I ended up being able to relate pretty much most of those sonic elements back to Holden Caulfield and just a lot of his experiences in the novel and his character itself. And then after that, I went to different sources. I got a lot of my songs from Spotify that I embedded into our clips. You can't really see it here in this edit page, but I'll go to the view and then you'll be able to see it there pretty well. I tried to get, I liked using YouTube because you can play it outright and you don't have to have like a certain app, whereas with you do with Spotify. And I primarily use Spotify just because like that, I feel like a lot of people who would be looking at this would have Spotify. A lot of people in our class probably have Spotify. I know a lot of people at UNC do have Spotify because they have like student deals and whatnot, but that's irrelevant. And just like these certain types of like playing formats I thought were a good idea. So here's an example of a YouTube playing format. You just click on it and then it just plays outright, and there's really nothing to it.
Well, it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, baby. Feeling you don't know by now. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, baby.
So you've seen that, and whereas like with these Spotify links, it goes through the Spotify app itself, or you can play online through the online Spotify player, and which is also fairly convenient as long as you have Spotify. And here it's taking a while to load, so we just won't even worry about it. And then when I was making my final revisions, I just kind of like, I thought about the lyrics themselves that pretty much encompassed what the song's about as it relates to Holden Caulfield's character, and I just kind of wrote those out. Like, I'm too depressed to go on, like there, and then as the years slowly went by, yada. You can see what I, want to do here. And here, for Eric Clapton's song Cocaine, I took a pretty abstract approach to it and didn't choose any lyrics, because I felt like the sonics were more indicative of Holden's character as opposed to the lyrics of the song. And so I just wrote Vice, which is like one of the overall themes of the song, or pretty much like the most prevalent theme in itself. And those were most of the revisions I made. Those were the most, meaningful revisions I made, and I feel like they really shaped my playlist as best as it could. And this blurb right here is just a summary without going into too much plot summary about who Holden Caulfield is and how he, why he's so dynamic and why I chose him essentially. And that's it. Thank you.